It describes us, and this is why and how I can tell you we're Israel, because the Bible identify us as being Israel. We're gonna go to Amos, and you know, and you don't have, and I understand people come and say, "Man, why y'all teach so, you know, all of that and this and that?" Because it is important for us to know exactly who we are, so we can know the job that we supposed to be doing. That's know who he are, then he know where he stand. He know how to treat his wife, and he know how to treat his children, and he know how to treat his neighbor. That's everybody. That's white people, black people, Chinese people, man. We supposed to be doing all of this. And we not. I got another scripture that I wanted to go to before I went there, but I think I'm gonna go ahead on and hit that off because I said that at first. But this is why let's do what we supposed to be doing, brothers and sisters. In the beginning, God created us in his likeness. And guess what? We fell off. That's what happened to us. We fell off. And once we pick ourselves up, brothers and sisters, start doing what we supposed to be doing, then guess what? The Lord is going to deliver us. Hold on. At us as the lesser, it ain't on them. It ain't because of the so-called white man. You in trouble. It's your forefathers. God tell you, thou should not kill. We do it. The preachers will tell you in Sunday churches right now today, we ain't under the law no more. What's wrong with the law? Thou should not kill. I asked one preacher one time, and I'm serious. Okay, we ain't under the law. That law is bad. It's bad, huh? So it's okay when you go to work, I creep in your back door and lay with your wife, because that's against God's laws and commandments. It ain't nothing wrong with I teach my children this. Teach your children thou should not steal. Adultery, thou should not cover thy neighbor's house, his wife, or nothing. Don't lie on people. Then we can sit up here and shine and be a light to the Gentiles like the Lord had us to do. Amos 2. Amos 2. And we're going to start at verse 10. Amos 2 and 10 says, also I brought you up from the land of Egypt. This is when we was in captivity. We always been there because we always transgressed against the will of God. We always did that. So that was our first slavery. It didn't just happen in America, brothers and sisters. Do some history, and then you can understand where we come from. Okay? So he said, I brought you up from the land of Egypt and led you 40 years through the wilderness, the land of the Amorites. And I raised up of your sons prophets. Prophet and apostle in this Bible is what they call a black man, brothers and sisters. Israel. He dealt with us. He gave us these laws and commandments to teach to the rest of the world. He made us a nation of priests. Don't that mean something to somebody? And on the corner selling drugs. We can't be getting all these domestic violence and beating our wife and leaving our children. This not what we're supposed to be about, brothers and sisters. So he said, I'm gonna raise up of your sons prophets and of your young men for Nazarites. Is not even thus, O ye children of Israel, said the Lord. Israel is who he brought this message to. Israel is what he did it to. Go to the new, let's go to Matthew's 10th chapter. So he raised our sons up. Matthew's the 10th chapter. We got to hit this Bible. Church is supposed to be edifying. When you leave out of there, you're supposed to know how to get salvation. Not how to dance and run up the hallways and sweat, because all you did went to church and got musty, but you didn't gain any wisdom, knowledge, and understanding on how to get back what he took from us in God and Eve. That's the whole thing, because brothers and sisters, believe me, this Bible tell you, if you born of a woman, you gonna live forever. Your state of condition is up to you. It is up to you, brothers and sisters. So we got to know who we are so we can know what God to serve. do. Matthew's the 10th chapter. Matthew's the 10th chapter. And we can play church. Hey, be a preacher too, by the way. You know, when I was a little kid, I was brung up in the Bible. So I always wanted to play church, and you know, and it's fun. But it ain't edifying nobody when we play it. I don't got to hollering and screaming to let you know, hey man, you better keep these laws, commandments. It is the only way. Jesus came and did. Yeah, Jesus came and did what he was supposed to do. He brought you a way. But the work is up to you. It don't take work. Well, faith without work is dead. What that mean? Those things. Because we going out of our own mind instead of thinking about what the Lord has got for us right here. Matthew 10, we're going to start at verse 1. And when he had called unto his 12 disciples, he gave them power against unclean spirits. He gave them power over the unclean spirits to cast them out and to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of diseases. Let's skip on down to 5. Skip down to 5. These 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles and into any city of the Samaritans, either enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Why he said that? Because he realized he made Israel a nation of priests unto him. Get with us first. We always try to correct, man. We got to start in our own house, just like the Lord did. See, he came to teach us, and we supposed to teach everybody in the world how to praise and obey the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. If you ain't doing that, then you ain't preaching. You just up there looking good in your big suit. But hey, that's your reward, brother. If you can't edify nobody and tell them how to get him some salvation, then something is wrong with your method of teaching. That's just that simple. Just that simple. Let's go to 6. But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. It's my only thing I'm trying to tell you. God is coming. And it's coming here. You ain't going there. You ain't going up there. I go to funerals there, you know, and you're going to learn a lot right now because I'm finna say a lot of things because this is on me. It's the spirit that's on me and I'm finna just preach it. You understand what I'm saying? All the time, we get this fairy tale. Hey, man, oh, man, my mama up there looking down at me. Ain't nobody ever died and went to heaven but Jesus Christ. Why? Because God used him as an example on how things were supposed to be. He'll tell you from dust you are and to dust you're going to return. He said, my servant David is still in the ground. Now, if David is still in the ground and he is a man after God's own heart, he gonna raise David up to be the king over Israel forever. You think you just gonna slide through ain't nobody ever. If you can find one more person in this battle, let me know. Teach me something. Nobody ever died, man. All of the great patriots is waiting on the Lord to come back here for a second coming. Then he gonna raise up his saints, and we gonna what? Meet him in the air, back down here with him, and we gonna set some order to this earth. Why? Because he said, I come to prepare a place for my Father. We gonna set this thing up. Jesus is gonna run this world 1,000 years, called 1,000 years millennial period. He gonna do it. Everybody, he said he gonna come back here and baptize this whole world. Then after that, he do that. When that time's over, he said he gonna get rid of his last enemy. That's gonna be death. That means everybody gonna be a spirit being. But where you gonna be one day, brothers and sisters, that should be your main concern. Not going to church to look good. To learn how you can live better where you gonna end up at, brothers and sisters. We can't dodge it. Ain't nowhere in the world we can dodge it. Ain't that something? We cannot dodge it. Let's go to Romans. In and out. They say, oh man, that ain't true. What about Paul? Paul ain't no Israelite. I say, man, people really don't read this word, man. The Lord have never used anybody else to prophesy his thing, man. Never. Never. but Israel, brothers and sisters. Why? Because he made us the priest. He made us the priest. And we got a very important job. Don't make us better than nobody. Make us responsible. That's why I say all the time, everybody, I'm an Israelite, I'm this and that. Yeah. Are you teaching your brother? Oh, that white man, he the devil. Man, you ain't teaching him right. The devil don't die. How many times y'all need to know that? He done fell all the way from the high heavens down to the ground and got up and walk away, y'all. He don't die. The devil can't. White man on this planet. He don't even got to fall that high. He can get on one of these buildings 20 feet tall and fall off one of these buildings and break his neck, brothers and sisters, and die. The devil is a spirit being. He don't die, brothers and sisters. So the white man ain't the devil. He's a different race than you are, but God said we all his children. We all are God's people. They just not chosen to do this right here. This is what the Lord put us in control of, not sell drugs and kill each other. We're doing the wrong thing. You're in the wrong profession. That's what it is. Romans the 11th. Y'all know, whoever been following me for years understand where I'm coming from. And if you don't, and this is your first time, thank you for joining. You're going to get book. I'm going to teach this book to you. Two things. You ain't going to like me no more, or you're going to listen to what I'm saying and go for yourself. Get a pen and a piece of paper, write these scriptures down, and you read it. It ain't about what I'm saying. Romans the 11th. We're going to start at verse 1. I say then, has God cast away his people? He ain't cast us away. For I also am an Israelite. Paul wrote this. He let you know I'm an Israelite of the seed of Abraham of the tribe of Benjamin. Ain't that something? Oh, no, wait a minute. What about Paul? Paul just told you. Who wrote Romans? If you don't know that, then start there first and find out who's speaking. And stuff God is using, brothers and sisters. 2, God have not cast away his people, which he foreknew. What ye not what the scripture said of Elias, how he maketh intercession to God against Israel, saying. We're going to skip down to 13. For I speak to the Gentiles, inasmuch as I am apostle of the Gentiles, I magnify my office. I'm an Israelite. My office to be a priest. The Lord ordained Israel to be the priest. If he was here today, they'd be calling him a so-called Negro or whatever. African American. We accept anything. We the only people, and we gonna show this, and I just gotta speak it to you, because we the only people, race of people that don't have our own land. Think about it. We the only people that get the Lord say we're gonna be brought to a strange land on ships. Do your investigation and know that we the only people that get brought over here on ships. Everybody else migrated over here. If the president say, hey man, I got martial law, everybody gotta leave. If he said it, we had to go. Everybody. Where we gonna go? I don't care if you're Japanese, you going to Japan, English, wherever you at. Where is the so-called Negro going? African? Are you an African? No, you're not, brothers and sisters. Come on, cut it out. Ask an African. Are you an African? You the people of this book that don't have their own land. They got it took from you. Why? Because we just wouldn't hearken to the voice of the Lord. Why he on us that? Because he made you the priest. Women more than any other race. We leave our children more than anybody else do. Then the Lord will tell you, and then you go to church. You'll go to church. Hey man, oh praise God, I love the Lord. But the Lord said a man don't take care of his own is worse than an infidel to me. If you don't know what that means, that's a non-believer. You might as well quit going to church and go have some of that good old fun that sin brings. Because your reward is coming to you in the end. You don't take care of the kids, how you gonna be prophesying anything? We got to get our household in order first and do what we're supposed to do, brothers and sisters. That's how this works. You can't be sitting up there talking about God and you won't even take care of your children. He said he's going to magnify his own. He's going to be what he is, and that is an Israelite, brothers and sisters. We got to know who we are. Let's go to Genesis, the 25th chapter, brothers and sisters. Genesis, the 25th chapter. And that's all, my message was today. The sister asked me to break that down. Hey, our complete job is to be the ministers of the Most High, to be the priest of the Most High, man. If you ain't, that's got to be the forefront of your life. And your other profession is second. I don't care if you play sports, a nurse. Your first thing is supposed to be teaching this book. And if you Israel, I'm talking about the men and the women. Some of us got a misconception. Oh, it's just the men. Who told you that? He said, I'm going to make Israel. He said, Israel, a nation of priests unto me. This is what the book is saying. So, find out what's going on. People think we got a misconception about Esau, Jacob and Esau, but we're going to for you here today, the 25th chapter, Genesis, the 25th chapter. And that's something, man. And today I just wanted to really come in here and just tell you, my brother, I'm going to be honest with you. I was in these streets too. I didn't care about nothing but money. Nothing but money. But the Lord has showed me that my job is to edify his name. Same Jesus that's in the New Testament is the same God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob in the old. You got to understand that. Oh no, it ain't right to tell you that these people back here was dealing with God the Father. When the Lord said, ain't no man at no time heard my Father's voice, seen his shape, or none of that. So who you was dealing with Jesus. Two gods. God the Father and God the Son, brothers and sisters. And what he's trying to do is make his family bigger. For even creating us is to make his family bigger. His self, brothers and sisters. That's why he said, let us make man in our image. He could have been saying, hey, let us make him in the image of a tree. He trying to reinvent him. And he gonna do it. Because some of us gonna make it. And when we do, he said he gonna wipe away our tears. There gonna be no more aging. You ain't gotta worry about hurting no more. You understand? You ain't gonna die no more. And anything your heart desire. Ain't that something worth fighting for? Your amount of money I'll trade for that. And that's why I do this for free. You know what I mean? All your donations, everything that you ever will do, don't go in my pocket. I want salvation. I want salvation. And we got to teach that. Genesis, the 25th chapter. And we're going to start at verse 19. And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begat Isaac. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel and the Syrian, what's that? Padaram, the sister of Laban, Syrian, right? Now, what he doing here is breaking down how these people came about. These are the generations of these people, right? Okay, so this is what he's doing here. All right, 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. So she had a baby, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went, Lord. So in the belly, these two people were fighting. These are two nations of people. How is that? How is that? They was twins. How is that? Because look, what you're doing is you asking me the wrong question. Because anytime a being, which is the Most High being, which is the God of all spirits, can take some dirt and breathe into the nostrils of some dirt and it become a living soul, then he can do anything. What can he do? So it's two nations of people here. Let's go. And the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. Two nations separated from her bowels. This is what the Lord said. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. This is how all of that came about, brothers and sisters. I don't understand when you say Esau the white man. I can't understand that. That is not what this is telling. Two nations of people came out, but that didn't make him a Gentile, brothers and sisters. He's Esau. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. Now he was the elder. So he was hairy, and that's why I understand, because I was taught it too. That's why y'all affiliate with him with being white. Not true, and I'm gonna show it to you. I'm gonna show it to you because Esau is Edom. Show that to you. So that's how y'all, and I'm reading this because people is asking me to break that down. And so that's how that happened. They came. So let's go from there. Let's read 26. And after that came his brother Al and his hold of Esau's hill. And his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. Right? Now, let's go over here to Genesis, the 36th chapter. So we can kill it. Okay, brother, sister, because I get a lot of calls about this, man, and I just want to kill it. All right, because let's get back to getting salvation. Because to be honest with you, the Lord ain't even looking at flesh. Didn't he say the flesh profited nothing? But what about that? So you can't tell me it's all on the black folks, we don't the people gonna make it. Or the white people can't tell me only because the flesh profited nothing. All he want to do is know what's in the inside of you. How he gonna give you all this power of being a God and your insides is, man, I don't care how you look on the outside. About your fringes. Or it doesn't matter about whatever you put on your body. Not saying fringes is no sin, because it ain't. You understand what I'm saying? But what I'm saying to you is, and I can't prove that through the Bible, but what I'm saying to you is the Lord is looking at a man's inside. I remember when the Lord told Samuel, say, hey, Samuel, I want you to go get the next king of Israel out of the house of Jesse. One of his sons gonna be it. So Jesse had all these sons. So Samuel went there and said, hey, man, Lord, is this it? He said, no, that ain't him. So he went to the next son and said, Lord, is this him? No, that ain't him. Then he said, oh, man, this one gotta be him. Why he say that? Because he was nice and tall and big, and he looked like a king. The Lord said, man, that ain't him. You looking on the outer appearance of that man. I looks and deal with the inner of a man. Because that's what counts, brothers and sisters. How's your heart and mind? Is it really on the Most High? That's what counts. That's what counts. Okay? So guess what? He when I get the strictest one, the little one, end up being a mighty king. Ain't gonna be the king over Israel forever, the Lord say. You understand what I'm saying? Went out there in the field, the boys out there tending sheep. And that was the king over Israel. He was a lot smarter than another guy. Why? Because a man's heart is what the Lord is looking at, brothers and sisters. To understand. In the heart. That's it. 36. Genesis 36. And we're going to start at verse 8. Genesis 36, we're going to start at verse 8. Am I right? Yep, I'm right. Here it go. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. These words, y'all. Esau is who? Edom. Are y'all reading this with me? Esau is Edom. Just that simple. See, I ain't taking nothing out of here, and I ain't giving you my own doctrine, brothers and sisters. So, sister, when I told you, no, Esau is Edom. This is where I got it from. Right here. Right here. Then in 9 it said, and these are the generations of Esau, the father of Edomites. He's Edom. So that is that question right there. And Jacob is Israel. So you got Edom and Israel. How do I know Jacob is Israel? Us, our father. See, that's why our forefathers is Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob had 12 sons. We finna talk about that. Jacob is Israel. That's in Genesis 35th chapter. Let's go. Turn on over backwards. And let's read that. 35, and we're going to start at verse 9. And God appeared unto Jacob again. And when he came out of Padanaram and blessed him. And God said unto him, thy name is Jacob. Thy name shall not be called any more Jacob, but Israel shall be thy name. And he called his name Israel. See, what happened is God changed Jacob's name to Israel. So really we Jacobites, but God changed his name into Israel. And that's what happened, brothers and sisters. So what? Esau is Edom? We read it at this Bible. Get your pen and a piece of paper. Rewind. Is Israel. This is how we get with this. Let's go to Genesis the 49th chapter. We're going to read something real quick. Genesis the 49th chapter. This is what we need to do. This is Bible study. This is what we need to do in church. We need to talk about something that matters. Let's find out. See, people, oh man, oh yeah, Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks. Man, this is my Black history. This is where we come from, brothers and sisters. Read it. The Lord spoke on all of them. Read, I'm talking about your encyclopedias with the Bible. Everything he said in this book. It come to pass. And that's why where we at right now, we know it because of this Bible. 49, let's start at 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourself together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. So he told them, get your people together. I'm going to tell you what's going to befall you in the last days. Here we go. Gather yourselves together and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel, your father. So Israel, he talking about Jacob, but Israel, your father. Let's skip on down to 28. Let's go to 28. Let's go to 28. 28. 12 tribes of Israel. And this is it that their father spake unto them and blessed them, everyone according to the blessings he blessed them. So all of these, he was speaking to the 12, his sons, Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Gad, Issachar, Judah, Joseph, Benjamin, all of them represents the 12 tribes of Israel. Where we at, brothers and sisters, there's only 3 over here. And the rest of the 9 is in Assyria. The book said it. Got scattered over there. We're over here. We got brought over here, brothers and sisters. And when the Lord come back, marching ain't gonna help you, brothers. I'm just gonna let you know. We've been marching. How long we been marching? So I can remember. We always marching. Martin Luther King marched. He before my time. Yeah, he marched. Before them, they marched. He wasn't the first one that marched. People marched all the time. But you ain't gonna get off from this situation until the Lord come back and get us out of here. Ain't no sister out there want to tear up the people's city. You know what I'm saying? Hearken to the voice of the Lord. Have some faith in the Most High. He gonna come back and get you. And he gonna give us back our land, which is Jerusalem, brothers and sisters. That's where we come from. David gonna be the king over Israel, which was our king once before again. And he was the king over there in Jerusalem. This is how I know we ain't going to heaven. When Jesus said he gonna come and sit on his father David's throne. His throne gets where? In Jerusalem. That's what David gonna be the king over Israel forever. And Jesus is gonna be the king over kings. And this whole world gonna bow down and do what the Lord said. We all gonna be keeping the feasts the Lord told us to keep in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. We all gonna do it. Right now, people look at me and say, hey, man, what are you doing? Oh, man, I'm keeping, it's the Day of Atonement today, bro. I'm keeping that. But why are you keeping it? Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. Oh, man, that's the Old Testament. Didn't the Lord say, I change not? I don't change. He ain't never changed. You know what he did? He replaced some things. Let me tell you what he replaced. Animal sacrifice, because he said animal sacrifice is no longer, because all we was doing was killing up all the animals. Nothing stopped us from sinning. Nothing. So they searched the world and they ain't seen no. My Jesus said, I got to come here myself. Then he said, I made myself Lord than the angels to dwell amongst men. Him here as the sacrifice. Because men brought the sin, and it had to be a man that died for it. The animals wasn't sinning. Come here. And just like that new lamb that we sacrifice, with no blemish, without blemish, meaning without sin. Nothing wrong with this lamb that we had to sacrifice to the Lord for sins. So it had to equal out. It had to be Jesus, someone who ain't never thought of sin before. It's not in his heart. Righteous. That's why they call him the Holy One of Israel. Holy One. Hey, brother, you ain't holy. Ain't nothing holy about you. Jesus ain't never thought about sinning. And he kept the laws to the T. So I want to ask, why are we teaching the laws are not good? Then what is? Because nothing else seems to be working, brothers. And we can put it in our little brothers and sisters' hearts out there in them streets, thou should not kill, or the Lord gonna weigh in on you, then our crime rate will go down. We got to, man, understand that. Wouldn't it be something that you can go to bed on and smile to yourself if you can go to sleep and leave your door unlocked without the fear of somebody coming in there stealing? Right now, people don't care who you married to. They'll sleep with your wife. That's adultery, brothers and sisters. Oh, that can't be that serious. Man, what? Man, the Lord punished King David severely. Read that story of David. And he a man after his own heart. He ain't got no perspective of a person. He did David like that. Oh, man, read it. What he did and how he tore up his family. And how he made that man fight to his death. To the day he was dead, man. Hearken unto the Lord and took that punishment. It is a terrible thing. So ain't nothing wrong with the laws. It's something wrong with us. For saying ain't nothing wrong with the law. Or something is wrong with the law. So we got to understand this. Let's go to Genesis, the 10th chapter, because you guys got to understand something. Now, after Adam and Eve, the world ended back then and started again with Noah, because the Lord killed. This will straighten me out. I thought I was tough too, because I can't fight real well. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is I thought I was literally tough, y'all. You understand what I'm saying? I thought I was tough. Thought nobody can do nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? Until I read this really and read it and figured out that the Most High killed everybody in the world but 8 people. That's a, man, what? So I'm not going to preach to you a powdery puff God when I know his wrath is fierce. Man, you make him seem scared. You better be scared. That's what he said. That's what he said. Fear is the beginning of knowledge. You got to, man, look, my kids wouldn't wash dishes coming up. They wouldn't wash dishes unless, hey, I'm going to tell daddy. And then daddy come home, them dishes better be washed. If they wouldn't have no fear, would have been staying there, brothers and sisters. That's what it is. Fear is necessary of the Lord. You ain't got to fear. He didn't give you a spirit of fear to nobody else. But to him, it breeds obedience. So he scared me straight. 8 people, and that's just Noah, his wife, his 3 kids, his 3 sons, and their wives. 2 of each cattle, each animal, and 7 of the clean animals. You understand what I'm saying? This is the only thing that was saved. Let's go to Genesis, the 10th chapter. Genesis, the 10th chapter. We're going to start at verse 1. Genesis, the 10th chapter, we're going to start at verse 1. Genesis, the 10th chapter, and we're going to start at verse 1. Because we just got to know some things. And some of this stuff, man, people are like, man, I've been in church all my life, I ain't never heard it. That's because you ain't never read it, and that's because ain't nobody ever taught it to you. Genesis, the 10th chapter, we're going to start at verse 1. Now, these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now, those three sons is the only three sons that were surviving during the flood that the Lord cast upon this earth because of sin, brothers and sisters. And until them are sons born after the flood. So after the flood, all generations of people came through Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now, the sons of Japheth, Gomer and Magog and Madiah and Javan and Tabor and Mashik and Tyrus, and the sons of Gomer is Ashkenaz and Rapha and Togarmah. Well, you can read these words, huh? I speak English, y'all. You know, these things weren't taught to me, and this is a joke, but this is why I be trying to tell my Hebrew brothers. They be like, man, you supposed to be speaking Hebrew. I say, man, I just barely know how to speak English right, man. That's why the Lord got his word spoken in all kinds of different languages, man, because he's the God of all languages. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what it is. Okay, the sons of Javan, Elisha, and Tarshan, Kishtim, and I hate doing this because it makes me feel like I'm ignorant, but these are the isles of the Gentiles divided in their lands, everyone after his tongue and their families and their nations. So this is what I wanted to tell you. So who was their father? Japheth. So guess what? No one's lying to you when I told you that the Gentile nations, that is anybody that's outside of Israel, man, came from Japheth, because these are his kids in their generations. So these people that came out of the isles and from Japheth. Now, and the sons of Ham, Cush. See, that's the difference. Cush. Now, I want to look up Cush, and you can look it up. But Cush is in the encyclopedia. You can go to the encyclopedia. Y'all get y'all a pen and a piece of paper to write this down, because I don't have the actual book here. But I'm gonna tell you where you can go find Cush, because this is gonna separate you from you being Israel, African, brothers and sisters. You is not an African. You know what I mean? You're dark skinned because you got dark Indians. Don't make you, an African. Don't make them an African. No, that's not what it is, everybody. But if you get you a Universal Standard encyclopedia, and on page 4128, and look at the ancestry of Cush. And Cush is of the ancestry of the Ethiopians. That's what they is. If you read the last 2 million years, 207, and then you'll know what the meaning of Ethiopian is, brothers and sisters. We had this lesson before, but I want y'all to go and look up these things so you can understand the difference between who you are and who you're not. So you asked me a question, sister, and I got a lot more on this lesson, but I ain't gonna take everybody through it. If you look, you guys got to understand who you are, what's your place in this world, what is your job, what is it supposed to be doing? Because if you focus in on what you were supposed to be doing, then we can stop this violence amongst ourselves, period. And if you're a priest of God, you ain't even interested in causing no harm to not even the Gentiles. Because the Lord has ordained us to be the priest, and we're supposed to be a light to everybody, not just amongst ourselves. You are very important to the Most High. You got to get your mind right. I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to end this lesson because we got the Truth and the Light hour coming up right after me. The Lord deals with the inside of a person. He deals with the inside of a person. He tell you that the flesh profited nothing, brothers and sisters. He's only concerned with what's in your heart and your mind. Your heart and your mind. I gave you the example about Samuel had to go and look for the king. Okay? You know, and the Lord looks at a person's inner parts. Everybody, as God made everybody, is what I'm trying to say. Everybody belonged to God. Everybody is God's creation. Israel is God's chosen people to preach this book to the rest of the world so you can know who the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is. Thank you for your time. Daniel Israel, Bible Basic, intellectualradio.com, iHeart radio station. Don't go nowhere because I'm going to keep the live constantly going. We got my brother Ray Ben here and my brother Zachariah here, and they coming. We're going to talk about sodomy. Stay right there. Whoa,